Hey Heather, I like those 4 rules for life. And I like the idea that they would correlate with the animals in objective personality. But I am not totally sure about one of them. So the show up, yes, blast, awesome. Pay attention, consume, love it. The distancing yourself from results as play. And I liked that you like reframed instead of don't become attached to results. Okay, yeah, distance yourself from results. That's good. Thinking about that as a play thing, I could get on board with that. I'm trying to think through like if that's really been my experience as a play first person in my life. Like, do I get super attached to results? And as I've thought about it, like I don't think I do. I don't. I think I. I mean, sometimes I do. I guess like when my ego is involved in something, but um, you know, it's not like I'm not afraid to fail. Oh my gosh, I have the idea of failure, the possibility of failure has paralyzed me at different points in my life. So, um, yeah, but I do think like I don't necessarily like give weight to things that have gone well. So like I'll just kind of like, okay, just keep going. I just keep going. I don't. It's like, yeah, failure can get me down, and it definitely has, like even for years and years. But um, like if I succeed at something, it also that doesn't really like trip me up though, or I'd be like, oh wow, yeah, I did this. It's like I can just keep on going. I don't necessarily become super attached to the results all the time. I have to think about that one more though, because I definitely, yeah, it's not completely true to my experience, but in some ways it is. Anyway, the one that throws me is the last one, the one for sleep, being like instead of the original one was to be honest. And you do make a good point about how maybe like honesty isn't always the best policy for all the things. But your revision of being your best self, that I don't know, because that doesn't really fall in alignment with the others from my perspective, because I think for some people like being your best self involves those other 3 things. So it involves showing up, and it involves distancing yourself from results, and it involves paying attention, and be like it's almost like be your best self, and it like involves these other 3 things. So I don't see them as all like on the same plane. There's a word for this. I can't think of what it is. I'm sure you will know exactly what it is. Um, but so I don't see it as being like one of those animals, and I don't know if I just can't fully get on board with like sleep. I mean, it is my demon. So for me, like sleep is definitely a way for like that's part of being my best self is like going into sleep mode and like churning through some things. And um, I don't know. That seems like really strong and not quite the same as the others. Um, so anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts about that. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And do you have any variation? Because I was thinking like, well, what would be a different variation of being honest? And I don't know, like something involving um, character, or I don't know, some other kind of virtue. Um, but anyway, I'll push that one back to you and see what your TINE can come up with. Talk to you later.